everyone. Elizabeth Copeland, pro trader here at Verified Investing. And I want to go over some stocks that were moving today and really had a big influence in the market. We're going to talk about oil, NDX, Nasdaq 100, Nvidia, Intel, and Oracle, some of those cloud services, and of course, semiconductors and software companies, all very important in today's price action. So let's get right into it by jumping to one of my favorites that has been here for the last couple of days, oil. It's been up here right around that really 96 level, all the way up to just a few days ago, 117, retracing from a recent pivot high, not all-time high, but recent pivot high of 119.48. That was back there on March the 26th. Something very interesting about this. First of all, definitely wouldn't personally look to get in anywhere close for a long position on the tops of these charts, right? Oil eventually will pull back. How quickly is debatable. And it's been the topic of a lot of conversation about how quickly this could stabilize. But the price of oil, this is the CL1 futures here. Price of oil, though, staying within this range, which is going to be a really important range to watch over the next several days. Look at this big red candle. I want to make that as accurate as possible there. If it continues trading within this 108 to 94 range, I do see quite a bit of downside because this would be more of a bearish pattern to me. I mean, it could go all the way up to this nice cap fill up here after a Tuesday drop that we all remember that Tuesday. Where we had a little bit more of that drop in oil. Actually, I say a little drop. I mean, it was a pretty big drop, right around 19% in just about 24 to 26 hours there. Now, this is the first range I'll be watching for a reversal, especially as it hits the top of this red bar candle. Secondary level that it could be at is 112.94. Both big areas for reversals there. And then, of course, you've got quite a bit of resistance along the way up. 117, the top of this, where a lot of buyers were trying to get back in, think it would rally, and got stuck with that 19% drop. So even a better move here up to an aggressive move, at least, by price action up to 117 does favor reversal. So quite a bit of action in this only 8% range here, 7%, 8% range, where there's a lot of resistance overhead. Now, we are still well away from that close today, right around 96. That's still a 21% move. We know oil, it can do it with all the news that's going on right now. But those are some three levels to look for if it continues to trade within this red parallel first, a breakout above that 112, and then nice reversal signal around 117. All right, if all else fails, let's look at a bigger time frame because this is just the daily time frame here. But if all else fails, look what we have above this gray line right here I've set out. Let's go to the weekly chart and zoom out by quite a bit. Let's say years. Look at this down sloping channel. We've got a high from May of 08, July, May of 08, all the way over to right around May of 2022. And then look where we are now, right under this down sloping channel. A third hit would favor a pullback, a nice area of resistance as we head up to that level right there. So again, if all else fails and you are really looking for a reversal there on oil, you've got some overhead. So lots of resistance on oil, something we are going to be watching closely over the next few days as it's been driving a lot of this price action. Now, interestingly enough, I don't know if you've noticed that. Let's look at NDX. This is the Nasdaq 100 one-day chart. So what a push there from the lows at 22.9 all the way up to today at some point 25.2. That's a 9% move in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. About 9 trading days. Very interesting price action here with that almost straight push up. Now you're starting to see a little bit less of a push, hitting resistance here today, right around the top of that 25.2 level. Now here is your next area of overhead for a reversal, right about 25.3. Now, I mean, if we get a nice drop down though, look at this price action. This little gap, I say little gap again, big gap. So about 3% move down to this gap right here to 24.2 or right around that area, actually 24.202. That would be a very favorable area for support. It also lines up pretty closely with some of these pivot lows, especially this major pivot low here at 24.04. So just below that, there's some major support. The overhead right around 25.3, this pivot high where a lot of buyers got in, again, thinking, oh man, I'm chasing back up to all-time highs back from October of 2025 or a pivot high from January 28, 2026. We're on the way back up. There's no way this market could fall again. We're going to ride that high. We've seen it happen. Well, the buy the dippers didn't quite get that fulfillment of pushing back up to this 26.1 level. Instead, actually a reversal down there. So if you were a buyer here, you were at one point down potentially 9% and trapped there. So as soon as that price action gets back up, and those buyers that were in so much pain are just looking to get out with very little to if no profit, that's where they would be getting out, where a reversal is possible. Again, same thing up here with this wide range red bar candle. You see a slight pop up there and then a big push down. That would be your next area of resistance at 25.8. So a lot of action right here. We're kind of chopping between. Actually, let's look on the SMA 50, the simple moving average of 50 and 200. Look at that. I mean, perfectly bounces down. That's where actually that fall down happened, right there at the SMA 50 from this green bar candle I marked here as resistance. So that is a very interesting price action play there. And then actually flushed below the SMA 500 or 200, excuse me, came back up, touched it, got rejected again, which is actually pretty impressive for the NDX to do that. But now kind of trading just above the SMA 50 there, this solid blue line. So very interesting to see what happens on that price consolidate or this consolidation here. If it then falls down and bounces off the SMA 50 or 200, but again, I wouldn't take that level more securely until the 24.2 level for a bounce for myself. So those are coming at some interesting things. Also, you know, something that also has been pushed down just a little bit. 20% from those highs back in October 2025. You guessed it. And then has kind of just chopped sideways since, kind of trading within, you know, this pivot low right here. That's a nice pivot low. And then kind of right in here. So right in that area has been trading besides that breakout right there. And today, price action getting up to 188 or so. The next area of reversal, I really like this this reversal signal right at the top of this kind of parallel here. And this gap fill right around 195.70. That would put it a nice push up from this pivot low here, about 18%. So that if it continues straight up with some action, with some force, we will see a reversal at that level there. How much of one will be dependent on how price action gets there and what the markets are doing that day. But a level overhead at 206, another gap fill. And of course, your ATHs up here at 212. So a couple of different stocks there. One that I was interested in today and have been interested in the last few days is the all-time high Intel, INTC. Here's a daily chart. It was trading in this upsloping parallel channel. Very rare to see it break above, but guess what? It did it twice. Once right here, and then kind of acted as this upsloping trend line as resistance again, and then came back down, and then now popped above. So we'll be interesting to see what happens when price action gets down here. But what I'm more interested in is these are recent all-time highs, by the way. Your all-time highs right up here with April 2021. These two areas are going to be the big areas for potential reversal. If price action can get up there, which it's Intel, I have no doubt it can. But it's just so interesting. It's been marching at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Today is the 8th day. It continued up in an upward pattern, continued closing over the previous day's close, which is a very strong stock right there. I know it's based off of news, but do look at that 68, 69 level for any kind of reversal there. You know, Intel's been a very strong one over the last several trading sessions, trading days. So all interesting things to look at there. Last one I'll show you is something that's been beaten up quite a bit. And did have a nice pop today, but now is back. It did go back down right before close, which is Oracle. Oracle still green on the day, but right there, it did close about 0.17% above yesterday's close. So a little bit of a reversal there, but look how far I got down to 134 today. My first price, and this is going to be a very hard stock for me to try to short because it's so beaten up. So I would only be looking for support on this. The first area is this gap fill here at 131.40 for reversal. And if it's stubborn, like it's been over the last several days, 127.24. But intraday, it did actually get a nice little bounce there up. about 2%. So it is capable of bouncing. That's good to see. We definitely want some more bounces for the stock to go up, but definitely a beaten down stock, one that we're going to be watching over the next several days. Thanks for joining me on these market movers. So hopefully you found something interesting on oil, NDX, Nvidia, or Oracle, or Intel that can last you through next week. Thanks for joining me. I hope to join you back here. Again, if you're looking for more Forex or currencies, Benjamin Poole actually did a video earlier today. Go check that out in this Pro Trader channel. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.